What's the most painful way to die? Shotgun blast? Speeding bus? Drowning? But for many, burning alive is the most unimaginable fate. In 1994, Chris survived an industrial accident that left him with burns over 69% of his body. Just living defied all odds. In Call Me Chris, Chris Aiken shares his harrowing journey of survival, recovery, and the brutal honesty of facing life after the flames. It's raw, real, and a testament to human resilience. Get your copy of Call Me Chris today at chrisaiken.net or on Amazon. Witness the power of determination.
Hello, this is Joachim from Astralors, and you are watching CMS TV.
It is your Classic Metal Show right here on the ClassicMetalShow.com. Kicking off the show tonight, we heard something from Jorn Land from his World Changer release with Sunset Station. And we just heard Axel Rudy Pell there featuring our good friend Johnny Gioeli on lead vocal with Only the Strong Will Survive. And speaking of being a survivor, my good friend and partner Chris Aiken, are you well today?
I'm well enough. What's going on?
Well, I know you've been battling some sickness and battling some fatigue and battling some lack of sleep and dealing being a family entertainment guy and all that fun shit. I haven't really corresponded with you much in the last 2 weeks.
Neither has anybody. I have been a ghost. I literally I was sick the week that we took off. I was sick, but not on the Saturday that we took off. I was sick all week. I took off the whole week of the other shows because I just was sick. I had the flu. And then Saturday, my mom had COVID, so we had a family thing. And when she's not there to be the leader, guess who gets to step into that for the out-of-town people? Me.
Look at that.
So I was out going, oh, so tell me about your job. Isn't that lovely? It's wonderful.
Now, did you entertain at your place or did you meet them somewhere?
Met them somewhere. Met them at a little restaurant and had a far too expensive dinner that I could barely afford to pay for.
Well, where did you go and what did you have?
I had a big ass porterhouse. We went to the Brown Derby.
Oh, okay.
I love that place. So went over there. I had a big old porterhouse, and so did everybody else. So you can imagine what that bill turned into with like 8 people. So
sure. Oh, you picked up the tab?
Yeah, I picked it up.
Oh, look at you.
Because my mom would have. So
I see.
Because it was the whole thing. It's out of town people from Rhode Island. They came in, and that's what you're supposed to do, isn't it?
Well, I guess
when you host people out of town, you pay the bill.
Well, when you're thrust into that position, does that also thrust you into a financial position?
Well, I know, and I know my mom will, if I really press the issue, my mom will cut me a check for it. But
Mom, cut me a check, will you?
Yeah, but I'm just like, whatever. It is what it is. It just was what it was. But yeah, but I'm fine as far as I know. Everybody was concerned. I got very, very lot of messages. People were like, "Are you sure you're okay, bro?" I'm like,
yeah.
You know what? I know COVID scared y'all, but just because you're sick and you have the flu a little bit doesn't mean you're dying. I'm fine. And when Neely comes on here on some Saturday night and goes, "Chris is dead," then you'll know that I'm not fine. Until then, assume I'm okay.
Yeah. Well, I got a couple comments from a couple of different people, and perception is a weird thing.
Okay.
It's a weird thing. I mean, typically in a year's time, we do about 48 shows, 46 shows.
Yeah, somewhere in there.
Give or take. And the comment I heard from 2 different people, how come Chris is sick all the time?
All the time.
all the time. And it's like, what are you talking about? He gets, people get sick. Yeah. But all the time. I mean, like I said, we put on 46, 48 shows a year.
Yeah. Well, how about when I came back to the show, and you could look this up in an email if you wanted to dig way back, I said I would do 40.
Right.
Do you remember that? I said
Yeah.
I would do 3 weeks a month. So I'm already doing more than that. So there's that. And the other thing is you know what? I hate to break it to everybody here, but there's some reality to the big joke that I tell about getting burned up a lot, which is that my immune system is total dog shit. My immune system is not as good as anybody else's. It is far, far tore to shit from that fucking burn accident.
Right.
And I do get sick a little bit more often than people. It's one of the reasons I'm kind of a hermit, because if I stay as a hermit, then I don't encounter as many people, which means I don't get sick.
Yeah.
Look at this. He's a drunk. I literally have not had a drink in.
Why would people say that? I mean, we're talking 12 years ago, maybe.
Yeah.
That you were heavy on the bottle, but that was over a decade ago.
I have not. I mean, even just right now.
Yeah.
And, all right, I'm gonna stop this right now. Stop telling me what vitamins to take. I have a doctor. I have not had a single drink in probably 3 months. Well, let me think. Whenever the last time I went to Kelly's for dinner, I had a drink there, one. And me and her, when we went to lunch, a month ago, I ordered a margarita, of which I took one mouthful, and it was gross, so that was all I had. I'm hardly a drunk. I don't drink that much anymore.
Well, I got to be honest with you. I actually anymore. For some reason, I think my metabolism is changing or something is changing. Mm-hmm. But actually, drinking actually makes me feel sick now.
Yeah, I get that.
It just makes me feel ill. I like a cocktail, but then I go, man, I just kind of feel sick.
Yeah, I just can't do the next day. I'm so busy these days with all the stupid shows and all the businesses and everything else that I'm doing. The last thing I have is 12 hours of recovery time to just kind of lay around and not do anything except hold my head.
Right.
That is just not what I can do. So
right,
I don't.
Of course. Yeah, just being productive. But as you get older, though, your system definitely changes, and you don't have the ability to absorb that or process that like you used to when you were younger. Mm-hmm. And it's the fact of the matter is, Chris and I are getting older.
Yeah, imagine that. But I'm deadly serious about the whole thing with the health thing. Is my immune system got tore to shit when I got burned up.
Right.
And the reason, I've told the story on the air, maybe I wasn't clear about it. The doctor said I would live to 55 if I was lucky. This is the reason, because I don't have much of an immune system, and I'm on borrowed time now.
Mm-hmm.
So, it's like, be happy that I'm here this week. Don't worry about if I'm sick or not.
Right.
When Neely comes on here and says, that's it, show's over, then you'll know. Then we're done. But for now, I'm fine. I'm healthy. I feel good today. So today's all I worry about.
Well, that's good. It's good. Yeah. So anyway, it's just interesting. Like I said, perception it plays a big part in people's comments, I guess.
Yeah. Oh, it does.
And it's just like, well, why do you think that?
We all got to die. Yeah, I agree. I don't fear it. It's going to happen.
Yeah.
It's dumb to fear it.
Don't fear the Reaper.
Yeah, that's it.
The question is where do you go?
Yeah, that's right.
Where do you go? Where do you go from here?
Into a hole with worms and maggots, and or into a lake if you're burned up and
Right.
somebody takes you out on a boat and spreads you out and says some dumb prayer. This is where he wanted to spend eternity. Shut it.
Yeah, that's just funny.
Meanwhile, some fucking swordfish comes around right behind it, just eats those ashes. What's this shit? Ew.
Yeah, what is it?
Gross. Yeah, gross.
Who peppered my ocean water?
That's right. It's like licking an ashtray.
Right, exactly.
Pouring human ashes into the sea.
Right. Well, here we are after 2 weeks away. I was here last week, obviously, and
Sure.
did a music-related show, and the faithful stuck in there with me, and it's really funny because I popped into the Rumble chat, and you put together a kind of a best of video montage.
Sure. Mm-hmm.
And the people in the Rumble chat, a lot of them didn't even realize it was just a pre-record.
Oh no.
A best of.
Right.
And they're just like, what is this we're watching? And I popped in there. I says, well, I'm doing a live music show on the audio stream. If you want to pop over there and participate in that, if you don't want to watch a repeat or whatever the case may be. And all of a sudden, more and more people started popping in on the stream, on the audio stream, to come over and hit me up with some requests and things. And so, I stuck it out for a little over 4 hours.
That's cool.
And then the requests started dwindling away, and then I called it a night. But I kind of enjoy doing the music shows now and again. If you're not capable or able to,
sure.
People like to just, I haven't heard this tune in a long time. And I too learn about bands and things I never hear about or never heard about or never
Sure.
played before. It's interesting what our fans listen to. And they know about, some fairly obscure bands that don't quite get the exposure or airplay anywhere else. And so
Right.
I'm always glad to play that stuff.
Yeah. Well, I did not hear that he requested Smoke on the Water, but that's
Yeah, he
not a
did.
surprise. Ugh.
He did.
Can we get any more common than that? What, was Crazy Train taken? And
Oh,
holy shit.
we had 2 requests for Deep Purple back to back. Jim wanted to hear Smoke on the Water, and one of our friends from Texas, he wanted to hear Perfect Strangers. So I did a twin spin.
Yeah.
Of Deep Purple.
Now, see, if this was me doing the music show instead of you, one of them would have been like that 29-minute live version just to kill a half hour.
Right. Again, I wasn't in a hurry to get out of here. I said, hey, I'll stick around as long as the requests keep coming.
Yeah.
So, and it's interesting too. I got a couple interesting emails last week about people who, I'm always surprised at how closely some people listen to what we talk about. And,
Oh, yeah.
and how it's relatable to some people.
Mm-hmm.
Let me see here. George the Greek.
Okay.
He had hit me up, and again, this was like a eons ago, but he goes, were you at the Key Club in June of 2005 for the Cleopatra Hollywood Rocks release party?
Yeah, that was me at table 6.
Yeah, well, I was.
Were you
there.
really?
I
Jesus.
was there with Nader. Me and Nader, and we were at the Key Club, and I was hanging out with George Lynch and Nader and
I don't know
Ricky
how you
Rackman.
remember all this
Oh,
stuff.
yeah, dude, we were up in the upper balcony, and Ricky Rackman was sitting with us, and me and Nader were there, and George was over at the bar, and we were all just kind of hanging out, and it was Jet Boy, Odin, Blackboard Jungle, Spiders and Snakes, Lizzie Gray.
Right.
They played also, and if I remember correctly, Piercy with Eric on acoustic guitar did a few songs after
Okay.
Jet Boy. I was backstage, and for some reason, I thought you were there, or remember you mentioning that you were there. Yes, I was there, and boy, you were listening.
I guess so. When did we talk about that?
Well, probably 2005 when
I was gonna
there.
say, I was gonna say, I don't remember anything in the last, I don't know, ever.
Yeah, so it's only been 20 years since I talked about this, but George the Greek, reached out and hit me up with that. You know,
Maybe it played on the best of? Or on the
maybe, I don't know.
24/7?
I don't know. But I just thought that was just really funny.
Yeah, wow. I don't remember what I did a year ago.
Yeah, exactly.
1 year ago, I don't remember. And you're sitting there going, oh, yeah, there's these guys, and I sat at this chair, and he sat in this chair. I can't remember all that.
Right. Well, apparently he had run into Tim James. I'm not sure if George is from Australia or he was just there. I'm not really sure, but remember Tim was at a show. I don't remember what the show was, but he said that he ran into a guy by the name of Brian.
Vaguely remember this, yeah.
But it was actually George.
Okay.
And so in parentheses, he goes, George, parentheses, Brian, according to Tim James.
So, God, how close is he listening? That not only does he remember what we said, but he remembers what Tim James said. Jeez.
And then also, let's see who I got to give another shout out here. Perry Ringo Ring from North Carolina. He apparently lived in the Sharon, Pennsylvania area.
Okay.
When I was a kid, we moved there, and I believe it was the fall of 1970, and we lived there till I think it was like New Year's Eve of 75.
If this email says, did you live at 3284 Jefferson Street? I'm quitting this show.
No, but so he runs down this whole, see, when you and I were talking like 3 weeks ago or so, we were talking about our childhood, and I was talking about how we discovered radio. We were discussing, being a kid and listening to radio, and when we first started recognizing music, and I mentioned that I listened to Y103 out of Youngstown because I was living in that area.
Right.
So he had hit me up and said, hey, I think I was living over in that area too, the same time you were. Okay. And so I hit him up and I told him, where I lived and everything. And he hits me back. He goes, I know all about that area between Youngstown and Sharon, Pennsylvania very well. I've been to the Quaker Steak and Lube, or the Lube, many times in my kind of place. Then we would go to Ryers, which was like a shoe place over in Sharon. And he goes, I used to see size 22 shoes there. Of course, went to Daffin's Candies, which is a must stop. These are all Sharon, Pennsylvania things.
Okay, yeah, I was going to say, I've never heard of this place.
Because all these things are very familiar to me as well. And he goes, some of the best chocolate ever. I wonder if they still have and here was the big attraction. People had to go to this place called Daffin's Candies because they had 100-pound chocolate rabbit there.
Okay.
They had a big 100-pound rabbit made out of chocolate.
Wow.
Big chocolate Easter bunny,
Better hope it never gets hot.
He goes, then we went to Cranax for the Christmas decorations. There was like this store over there. It was like for lack of a better term, it was like like an Ace Hardware style store. Okay. And they had this whole big room where every Christmas they would decorate all these trees. It was kind of like you could walk through this Christmas wonderland, I guess you would call it, and they would have like literally 100 trees decorated in different schemes. You know what I mean? And people would go there and go to this Christmas.
It's like going to a neighborhood with Christmas lights up.
Exactly.
And just
exactly. So they were known for that.
Okay.
So he's mentioning all these things. They go, yeah, this guy definitely knows what he's talking about because I did all those same things as a kid. So it's just kind of funny the reach this show has, where people just go, hey, I remember that.
Yeah, I did that too.
Yeah, exactly. It's just kind of funny. So shout out to Perry Ringo Ring and, of course, George.
Right.
Checking in and telling me their stories. So that's always kind of fun.
Yeah, that's cool.
Mm-hmm. So you never know where, people are listening from. And we were talking about that story about a few weeks ago about how when Rock Never Stops was playing at the Nautica stage and Vince Neil made everybody clear out the backstage.
Oh, yeah. Uh-huh.
And one of the one of the guys who was there, I noticed he commented on like the YouTube page or something.
Okay.
He was in Shotgun Wedding.
Oh, I did see that comment. Yeah.
Because I was there too.
Ooh, wow.
I saw this, So he just sort of backed up my story that's exactly what what happened.
Sure.
It's just kind of funny. So it's just interesting who's listening,
Shotgun Wedding. God, I haven't heard that name in a long time.
Yeah. So there you go. So our fans being relatable to some of our storytelling.
Apparently so. Well, we'll see if we can relate to them tonight or not.
Yeah. So anyway, thanks for checking in, fellas.
Yeah.
Always glad to hear stories from other people.
That's right. And lady, I'm sure there was one.
Yep. So anyway, that's what's going on there. And aside from me, I don't have much of a stories to tell this week. It's just been nose to the grindstone all week long.
Yeah.
So man, just I think another thing that's really bugging me a bit is just especially in the area, not specifically in the area where I live, but in the vicinity, not where I live, but where I work rather.
Yeah.
The vicinity, just the rampant crime out of control.
What do you mean? It's being handled. I just saw on Tuesday night, stupid ass Kamala saying how it's under control.
No, it's not.
It's getting better.
Yeah. Well, Chicago is getting worse and worse and worse.
I don't think you're paying attention, Neely. Our soon-to-be president said it's good.
Yeah, sure.
Economy's good. Crime is down.
Right. So if the economy is good, why is she vowing to fix the economy?
Well, fixing the things that Trump broke before the Bidenomics took hold.
Well, if it's so good, what is she going to fix?
Wow. She didn't. I don't know. You didn't watch that debate, obviously, because she didn't really talk about doing anything.
Right.
She just danced around like a bear with a whip being thrown at it. She did not. It's funny. I know you didn't watch it. I watched it.
I did not watch the debate. I was just going to wait for people like Mark Dice or Styx Hexenhammer or
Jericho or somebody.
Some of these people, the liberal hive mind.
Sure.
Let these people do their analysis and break it down,
Well, I'm sure they're all saying the same thing. She said nothing. She said nothing.
I know.
All she did was danced around and waited and then poked Trump. And then Trump was a dumb fuck. He took the bait every time. Instead of making these moderators hold her to the fire, like every question she would just throw something at Trump and Trump would just bite on it instead of and it took her off the hook of answering. Trump should have literally been like at the beginning. The very first question that they asked her of the night was how are Americans better?
Yeah,
from 4 years ago.
4 years ago, and she did this whole dissertation about being a kid and being brought up in a middle class family. Never even answered the question.
And Trump should have said, "Hey, moderator Dick, are you going to make her answer the question?" I mean, that's what Trump needs to do is instead. And she did a couple, like she jacked him. In my opinion, they both lost. I don't think anybody won that debate.
It was a very blasé debate. It really didn't do anything.
It didn't do anything.
It didn't do anything for either one of them.
But Trump takes the bait way too often. Like she said something about his rallies not drawing as many people or some shit like that. He couldn't bite that faster than a Haitian on a cat. I mean, he dove full in on defending himself. And what is there to defend on that?
Yeah.
Hey, don't go for that bait. Don't take the bait.
Let the number speak for himself.
Yeah. Say, moderator, she still didn't say what she's going to do on the fucking economy.
Right. Yeah.
Are we going to get to that?
And I agree. I mean, but here's and I know we're not going to turn this into a whole political thing, but here's the problem that he has debating Kamala Harris.
Mm-hmm.
Is the fragility card. He's got to be really careful, unfortunately, because if he comes off like a bully or he goes at her too hard, he's attacking a woman. He's attacking a woman of color.
You know what? Tough.
I know, but the thing is, with the media all being on that side, they will ramp that up to where it's endless. Did you see how he disrespected her? He didn't treat her fairly. He's a bully. This is why he's been brought up on charges for sexual harassment.
So what? At this point, though, who cares? At this point, if it ain't that, it's something else. Let him go for something that's fake instead of something that's actually,
yeah,
real thing.
But I know, and I get your point, and I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just saying that I would not want to be in that position, because they're just looking for one little slip up that they see. He's a racist. See, he's see, his true colors are showing up. Because did you hear the language he used? He used a word, and they'll just do that. They'll just do that all day long.
No, I know they'll do it, but you know what? We're at the point now where he needs to use language like, "Shut up, you cunt." Like, he needs to attack this bitch. Say, "You're a lying piece of shit, you fucking whore.
Right.
You're ruining our country, you fucking bitch."
Well, I understand, but see the word whore now. You're degrading a woman.
Yes, I
am. So that's what I'm talking about. So I know you would like him to go scorched earth, and I get that. I get that, but unfortunately, in today's environment, with the left-wing media just looking to jump on him about trying to perceive, and again, this goes back to exactly what I said at the very first part of the show. Perception is a very strange thing, and perceived to be, some kind of a bully or a bigot or a racist or blah, blah, blah. It's just this old play card over and over and over again.
Well, I'm certainly glad to hear that he turned down doing another one of these debates, because we don't need another week of bullshit of how these things mean anything. Because I watched that dumb debate, or I watched most of it, because I was doing Chris Akin Presents with Eric for the first half of it. But I watched more than half of it.
Okay.
There's not one person that watched that thing, of that 80 million that watched it or whatever. There's not one of them came out and said, "You know what? Maybe Kamala does have a point here, or maybe Trump does have a point. I'm changing my vote." Not one person in the country. So it's worth it. It's useless.
I agree. But, it was basically Trump against Kamala and the two moderators. It was 3 against 1 in that whole thing. So,
and that's a whole nother thing is why do we have to have these fucking moderators? Why why are they negotiating rules and stuff of the debate? You're not, the reason that they do that is so that ABC can make a shit ton of money, or Fox or whoever. How about this? Throw this shit on fucking Twitter or on X or whatever. Make people register and take questions. Make them register and register what they are, Republican or Democrat, and take them blind. No moderators, none of that shit. We've got Janice, who's a Democrat in Philly. She wants to know this. We've got Bill, who's a Republican in San Diego. He wants to know that.
Because the Democrats would never go for that.
Yeah, because they're cowards. But that's what I'm saying. I don't give a fuck what ABC wants to know. I know what I want to know.
Right.
All those questions that they asked on the debate that I saw, none of them are the things that regular Joes and Marys want to know. We want to know, when are we going to be able to afford a fucking carton of eggs? When is a loaf of bread not going to be $5 fucking bucks? When is gas going to be, $2 again? That's what we want to know. We don't give 2 fucks about how you're gonna negotiate with Putin on this. Fuck you. Do that on your own time after you fix our country, you fucking twat. Right. I want to know if Neely's going to be able to go outside in his own neighborhood, or if he's going to get killed. That's what I want to know, not about fucking the Ukraine, you fucking dumb cunts. And that's both sides. Fuck them both. That's why I always say all fucking politicians are shit. Every one of them. They're all shit. Just a bunch of dickheads.
Yeah.
Damn
All
right. All right, enough politics.
Did you get that off your chest?
I think it's going to be one of them yelly nights.
Well, you must be feeling better then.
Yeah, I feel better. I'm going to actually change the background so I'm not looking at the flag and thinking about politics.
Right.
I'll change it to what it looks like in your neighborhood.
Crime.
Crime.
Yeah. Well, fortunately, in my neighborhood where I live, it's a pretty serene, pretty safe place. But boy, you get across that border and it just becomes the blackboard jungle.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's definitely. I can't imagine where you work. That's got to be all criminals all the time.
Yep.
Do you guys keep the gate closed now?
Dude, some guy crashed through our fence, not to break in, but because he basically was probably driving drunk and driving too fast, and
Right.
basically took out 12 feet of wrought iron fence.
Wow.
I mean, just tore the fence right out of the ground.
That's crazy.
It is crazy.
That
But
really is nuts.
but the driving is one of the worst things. Is the burning around the streets, going like a bat out of hell, just running through the stop signs, running
Sure.
through the traffic lights, because there's no chase. There's no
Well, yeah, there's no reason to go. There's no reason to honor the law. There's no punishment for it.
yeah, because they have a no pursuit policy.
Yeah, ridiculous.
Yeah. Oh, well, and did I tell you the other thing that I don't know if we mentioned this on the show. So the new one is, if you get pulled over for a traffic violation
Yeah.
and something else is discovered, say you got an open container in the car, or maybe you got an illegal gun on the seat or something
Okay.
like that,
Right.
you can't get them for that because you didn't pull them over for that.
Oh my God, are you kidding me?
No, I'm not kidding.
So then why not just roll armed?
There's no reason not to.
That's what I'm saying. And especially in your fucking neck of the woods, you should be rolling armed.
So that's the whole thing. It's like, well, you didn't pull me over for the gun on my seat. You pulled me over for a taillight out, or
Yeah.
what the case may be.
Yeah, so give me my ticket and I'll be on my way
Exactly.
to go shoot somebody.
That's exactly right.
Wow.
That's exactly right. That's the new one now.
Chicago's fucked.
I know. It's a third world country over there.
And if they bring this stupid bitch into the fucking White House, it'll probably spread to the rest.
Right. What a mess.
It is a mess. I'm
What
looking forward to death.
I'm so glad to go back across that border every day.
I'll bet. I'm glad nothing has happened here so far. I mean, my little dumb town has not had any ramp up of crime or anything here, but I would be lying if I said I hadn't pulled out my, even though I haven't shot it recently, I pulled out my cleaning kit and just gave both of my guns a nice little cleaning this week.
Right.
Just as a safety precaution, just
Sure.
in case some of these Springfield Haitians decide to take a little trip this way.
Well, that's interesting you just said that, because I'm sending you an email right now from your pal Sal.
Yeah, I know. He's been trying to goad me with the Haitians
know,
like
but-
it's some big fake thing.
And well, look, I don't get this. I don't get it at all.
He's trying to say it's a fake thing.
Do you see it?
Yeah, I see it.
I don't get that. What is that all about?
Alcohol.
Is that what it is?
I think it is. I think it absolutely is alcohol.
All right.
Yeah, it sounds crazy. That's all.
Yeah.
It's okay. I mean, I'll pull up videos of people eating cats if that's what you want to see.
That's not happening. That's just a big lie. That's been debunked. It's been debunked, man.
Is it? Is it debunked? Is it? I was.
Well, that's the whole. That's the whole thing. Again, I'm going to fact check.
I was unaware that it was debunked.
Yeah.
I wasn't aware at all that that's fake.
Mm-hmm.
No, that's not happening at all.
No, it looks delicious.
Well, cat isn't bad actually, but I mean, I don't. You know me. I don't give two fucks about pets, so I could give a shit if people are killing and eating dogs and cats, whatever.
Right.
Kgogi was a delicacy in fucking Korea, so you know. Yeah,
You know,
I mean, you can say it's not happening all you want.
Like that, you're just a racist, man. They don't do
I am.
that. That's just a stereotype. It's not real.
No, it's not real at all.
That's not
No.
real.
No, not even a little bit. Here, we'll go back to this.
Yo,
There you
Look
go.
at
what is this they got on the grill?
Is that the thing kills the cats?
Man, listen, man. There go a cat right there. His ass better get missing, man. Look like his homies on the grill, man. What the fuck?
Look at that.
Yeah, it's all bullshit.
Mm-hmm. That never happened.
Well, considering that me and you both know people in Springfield and they are
Yeah.
terrified for their fucking lives in Springfield, I'm gonna say there's some shit going on in Springfield.
Dave Chappelle lives there.
Well, I'm sure he ain't there right now.
Yeah, probably not.
Got the fuck out. You know, whatever. I don't care. I don't care what people believe or don't believe, whatever. Don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
I know this. If they come to my door, they're gonna be eating something different than a cat.
Sure.
Be some lead being served.
Yeah.
Fuck them.
I've eaten plenty of pussy, but not over a grill.
That's right. But whatever. You know, I don't care. I don't know how that became my issue somehow, but I guess because I live in Ohio, God forbid.
Because you live in Ohio.
Well, so therefore I must be trumpeting it. I could give a fuck. Lord knows there's nobody that hates pets more than me. I don't give a shit what you do to them. Kill them, run them over, eat them. Fucking cut one leg off at a time and watch them pull their ass around. I could give a fuck. I don't care. I don't like pets. You know, it ain't affecting my life any. I don't have a pet.
Does your son still have a cat?
Dead.
Dead?
Yeah.
Did you eat it?
No.
No.
That was his deal.
That was his. He ate his cat.
I don't even know what he did with it. Honestly, I have no idea. It had nothing to do with me.
Right.
You know. I know this. There ain't another one.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
Yeah. No thanks.
Nope.
Don't you want a dog?
No.
No, I don't.
No, I have no
I mean,
interest.
I like dogs. I've had dogs. Growing up, I had dogs. But, you know, when you live in a very limited environment, like an apartment or, you know, whatever, there's really no reason to have animals in your living space.
I'm with you on that.
It's not fair for the animal, and there's no reason to have an animal cooped up in an apartment.
And I sure as shit am not going outside at fucking 10 below weather to walk some fucking dog.
Right.
Fuck you. Learn to shit in the toilet.
Sure.
Fucking dummy.
Yeah.
Stupid dog.
If I have to go downtown to Chicago to pick Taylor up to go do something, and I'm sitting out front of her building waiting for her to come down, all these people, all these younger people, they all come out of the building walking a dog.
Oh,
All
yeah.
these people have dogs in an apartment, in a high-rise apartment. It's like, what are you doing with a big dog in the city?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know. I don't get it.
It's the weirdest thing. It's just like, you think that dog is happy living in an apartment in the big city?
Well, now, but now everything is to accommodate the fucking pets. Now we got pet restaurants and pet fucking, like that. I think I saw that the faggot ass Guardians have like pet day or something.
Yeah, well, that's been going on for decades.
It's dumb.
It is dumb. I mean,
If I want to go to a baseball game, the last thing I want to do is have two fucking dogs fighting next to me.
right?
That.
Yeah, they have pet day where you bring your dog.
Fuck
Like,
that.
why are you bringing your dog to the ballpark?
Mm-hmm.
What's the purpose of that? Why are you going to a baseball game with a dog?
I don't know. No idea.
I mean, your wife.
Because then you're not going to watch the game. You got to watch your fucking dog the whole time. You know what? I don't care. I don't care that German Shepherds saved lives in wars. They didn't save mine, so fuck them. Hope they get hit with a mortar. What do you think of that? I don't have any love for fucking pets. They make too much noise. Be silent. Know what's a good pet? Like a bear that's a rug. That's a good pet.
Yeah.
Doesn't make any noise. Even if you spill something on it, it doesn't get mad. It just sits there with its little head, fucking mouth opened up to scare people. Perfect. That's a good pet. Anything other than that, anything that moves by itself, fuck it. Kill it. That's what I say.
Yeah. Well, again, I had pets and things growing up, but we lived out on a 7 and 8 acre, piece of property. So the dogs, the dog had, place to run around and be outside, most of the time and things like that. But, people who had lived in confined areas, it's like, I don't get the whole thing with the big dog. In fact, I'll tell you what, since we're talking about that, so yes.
You know what? I got protection right here. And you know what? It doesn't make any noise or need to be fed.
What kind of a dog is good for protection? Just a big dog?
A big German Shepherd or
German
a big
Shepherd, Rottweiler,
Pitty or something? Yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck that.
Yeah.
If it doesn't bite a stray kid or a mailman and get you fucking arrested for that shit.
Yeah. So I went out to my mailbox to get the mail yesterday.
Right.
And this girl come by.
Okay.
Just a small girl. She couldn't have been 5 feet, 5'1" at the most, just a small girl.
Right.
He was walking with this monster dog. I don't even know what it was. It literally came up to here on her.
Right.
And I said, are you walking it or is it walking you?
And she just laughed and smiled.
Yeah, she did. And she goes, well, sometimes I never know. But I mean, this dog was massive. She could have rode it. That's how big this dog was, so massive. And she's like walking along this dog. And I was like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
The size of that animal.
And what's the point of having that?
I don't know.
Why not just have a gorilla in your house then? You're going to have something that fucking big.
Right, exactly.
Hey, here's my pet giraffe. It's like, what the fuck? What do you need that for? How do you feed it?
I know. And that's the other thing about the cost. People who have limited incomes, they typically will live in an apartment rather than a house or whatever. I know circumstances are different for everybody, but they'll spend a lot of money just to feed their animal or have to have, pet care and all this, that, and the other. But yet they're always strapped for cash.
Yeah, they always.
Remember those Snake Man?
Oh, yeah.
He was always shaking the pan looking for money, but yet he had to have his dog, and his dog, Sophie, had to have multiple surgeries and all
that. That's a whole other thing. The vet bills are fucking off the charts for that shit.
I know it's ridiculous. It's like, well, I gotta take my dog to the groomer, or I gotta take him to the veterinarian, or it's gotta have a surgery, or it's got a tumor or something. Mm-hmm. I gotta get it fixed, and I gotta get this, and it's like, oh, by the way, I'm going to have a tough time making my car payment this month.
Yeah, exactly. I can't pay the electric bill because I got a $1,200 vet bill.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I got a $3 vet solving problem. It's called a bullet.
Yeah.
Done.
Well, my dad actually said that to one of our neighbors one time.
Right.
One of our neighbors was talking to my dad, and they had a dog, and the dog had something wrong with it to where it had to get some kind of surgery or something. Mm-hmm. And he was telling my dad, he said that the surgery was like $1,200 or something.
Right.
And he says, wait a minute. You're spending $1,200 on a surgery for your dog when a bullet only costs a nickel?
That's not it. It's exactly right.
He literally said that to this guy, and I was like, holy shit.
You don't have any spare antifreeze in the garage? Jesus.
Wow.
Just handle it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
enough with the fucking pets.
I know. I like animals. I like dogs. I won't have one.
Yeah, I'll never have one.
But I'm not anti-animal, but I'm just always amazed that people will go off the deep end for their animal. And it's just like, gee, what are you doing?
Yeah, it makes no sense to me either.
Yeah. All right. Well, whatever.
Yeah, hey, more power to you if that's your deal.
Yeah, maybe some Haitians will move into your neighborhood and take care of your problem.
Yeah, could be. I know when I lived in Korea and they do eat cats and dogs, you never saw strays.
Right.
You never saw strays over there. They ended up on a fucking hibachi somewhere.
Sure.
And I won't lie, Kgogi was pretty goddamn good. Really wasn't bad. I ate it a few times.
Right.
I'm not ashamed of it a bit.
How do you eat that? I mean, how does it come? Does it come on the bone, or is it?
No. You don't eat it like a drumstick.
Well,
you eat it like
I've never seen it, so
it's kind of like a. It doesn't really come as a steak. It comes up like cut up into little pieces, and it's like got a glaze on it, almost like a soy or a barbecue type glaze.
Okay.
On it, and it comes mixed in with rice and with kimchi on the side, and you eat it with some chopsticks. And, hey, let's have some Kgogi, baby.
So does it come like trunked or shredded, or how does it
just
come?
little pieces, like a kind of like a, not a stew, but I don't know what you call it, like a sort of. Let me just find a picture. Kgo. I'm sure there's a photo.
Well, I mean, so is it just like chunks of meat, like little bits?
Yeah, it's just like I don't know, here, let me just put the picture up instead of trying to find words for this shit.
I can't come up with words for how we eat.
I really can't. This is bulgogi, which is the same as Kgogi, except for this is beef instead of dog.
All right.
That's the same exact fucking thing. It looks exactly the same.
Okay.
So, share screen.
You're a man of the world. Been around. I ate dog, ate cat.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
And that's what it looks like.
All right. Fair enough.
I mean, so I don't know what do you call that? Chunks, I guess.
Chunks or slices.
Yeah, I mean it's just little
chunks. Yeah.
Yeah, just little chunks. You grab it with the chopsticks.
It's like stew.
Yeah, sort of. Except it's not like liquidy.
Right. But what I mean is the meat is like a stew meat.
Yeah, exactly. Mm-hmm. It's good for you. It tastes good.
All right.
Good shit.
Because it's fucking delicious.
I'll tell you, when I first got back here, back to the States, I took my mom and dad to the Korean restaurant down in Cleveland.
Okay.
And we went in there, and I was like, oh, let me order, because I just wanted to, I was like 20 or whatever. I was like, oh, let me show off how fucking much I can speak Korean.
And did you order Kgogi?
I ordered Kgogi, and the fucking lady wanted to throw me out the place. I was like, yeah, Kgogi sege juseo achima. And she was like, get the fuck out of my restaurant. I go out of she was just like throwing curses at me. So my mom was like, what the fuck did you say?
So, serve me up some dog.
I was like, I'm just ordering dinner.
Yeah. Yeah, let's bring me a can of Alpo.
That's right. Give me what the Alpo feeds. Thank you.
Right, exactly. Wow. That must have been funny.
It was.
I mean, did you seriously think they would have dog to serve?
Not in the States. I was just I thought I was being funny.
Oh.
Because I used to do it in Korea as well. Right. And like the thing was in Korea it was not a restaurant food. But if you they had these like USO meetup type things where you could meet families and have traditional dinners with them and whatnot. And it was like a real traditional thing. Like you would go to their house and you would present a gift and they would teach you about their culture and all this other shit. And I did this a lot. I went on all these little things because I wanted to embrace, I was in Korea, so I wanted to embrace everything it had.
Right.
And there was one or two times that they asked me, they were like, would you eat Kgogi? And I was like, I don't know what that is. And they were like, well, it's dog. And I was like, yeah.
Sure.
Why not?
I'll give it a whirl.
Dude, I have never, I mean, people were grossed out just recently when, quote unquote, Sugar Smack sent me the dried crickets to eat.
Right.
And I ate them. Didn't even flinch. Just let's go. You know, because I don't I know for some people they have that gag reflex where they convince themselves in their mind that it's going to be horrible.
Right.
And then they just can't go. I've never had that. I've never had that. You know, I've told the stories on the show before about eating monkey meat on the street in Korea. And then me and Georgetta, we used to go up to this one little stand. It was just like a little stand where they made meat on a stick. It was like a shish kebab type of a deal. And it was always called monkey meat. So we would just order it. We'd just be like, yeah, give me 2 monkey meats. You know, and then at one point, Georgetta asked me, like 8 months into Korea, she's like, well, what is that? I was like, it's fucking monkey meat. And she's like, what do you mean? It's not beef? I was like, no, it's fucking monkey. And it was fine. It tasted good.
It's just funny she would eat it for that long and go and never question what it was. She just thought it was a cute name that they were
She just thought that's what they called it.
Monkey meat.
Yeah, but it was monkey.
All right.
I was all in. And she should have known, because when we walked up Hooker Hill, like the bottom half of the hill was where they sold all the fish and stuff.
Right.
And I mean, you would walk up this hill and there would just be fish like on carts with ice that had been sitting out all fucking day long. People would be buying the shit at like 11 o'clock at night. People would be buying a fish or whatever that had been sitting there all day. And then there was pigs' heads that were sitting on the ground underneath the fish and whatever. And people would grab one of those and I guess throw it in a pot and make a stew out of it or something.
Make a boar's head soup.
Yeah, snout stew or something. I don't know what it was, but I never had that. I never did eat that. I did eat the fish on occasion.
Right.
It actually wasn't that bad. You could go and some of the bars, you could literally tell them that you wanted a fresh fish.
Right.
And they would go out and buy a fish and bring it in and cook it right there on the spot. Gut it, cook it, the whole thing.
Yeah.
And I did that. Dude, I never had that. Obviously, I'm fucking 400 goddamn pounds. You know, I never had that. Oh, I won't eat that. I'm not particularly picky.
Right. Well, you have a sense of adventure about you that
I do.
That a lot of people don't have. People don't have a sense of adventure. They find comfort in familiar surroundings, and they want everything to be the same. A lot of people don't have the ability to experience anything new.
Yeah. Dude, I find that all the time with Seth on the Seth show. That motherfucker's eating nothing.
Yeah.
And I mean, when I say nothing, we had him eat asparagus on the show because he'd never had it. He's fucking 50.
And I know Billy Morse, he cooked that.
Yeah, he cooked it.
Bacon and all kinds of delicious stuff. And I was just like, wow, kind of jealous he gets to eat that.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm always stunned when because we have our guy that's a restaurant reporter that calls in on Wednesdays, and he'll call in and he'll be like, oh, look at this. It'll be some great meal. Seth will be like, I've never had any of that. I only eat a turkey sandwich on wheat or whatever. Right. It's like, dude, fucking live a little. Put some other tastes in your mouth.
Sure.
Enjoy it a little bit. Jesus.
Right. Well, I get you.
I'm not saying that the bugs are better. I'm just saying that I don't have a gag reflex to that shit. Yeah. When I was in CLC, which was like the pre-ranger school, they starved us so fucking bad. We were absolutely digging up bugs and cooking them and eating them. We were fucking hungry. I mean, we went like 5 days climbing mountains and shit without any fucking food. By that point, I was like, yep, get your entrenching tool out, dig some shit up. Oh, cool, a big worm. I'm fucking eating, baby.
That's funny.
Good times.
Yeah, I get you. All right. Well, I think that's a good warm-up segment. So we covered a whole gamut of things.
Yes, we did.
From crime to monkeys to Haitians to cats to animals to it's just
my health.
Your
listeners
health.
Remember everything that we've ever said.
Right.
Jesus Christ.
It was a whole hodgepodge of things.
The old mishmash.
There you are. You got to hear it live.
That's right.
And but anyway, we're gonna get rolling here. Well, I tell you what, people are catching on to this whole request thing.
Yeah.
Because I'm looking at the inbox here, and I appreciate everybody sending their requests. But I bet you I already have like 25 requests in the inbox already. They know that if they get in early, they'll probably get to hear their request because I take first come, first serve. So that's how it goes.
Right. Man, I'm surprised. I'm looking at the chat room, and we could definitely talk about this, about the Perry Farrell fight.
Yeah. Well, I have that on my list.
Yeah, I really don't have much of a list tonight, but I mean, that was, I'm just surprised that our audience wants to talk about that.
Well,
I don't see our audience as big Jane's Addiction people.
Yeah, but it's musicians who are causing an issue out in front of their fans, I guess.
I mean, we'll definitely talk about it. I have definite thoughts on it, but
yeah. But and also the whole Dave Grohl thing as well. I got
got
a couple emails on that.
Boy, karma's a real bitch, isn't it?
It is.
Remember when he wasn't letting anybody that wasn't vaxxed into his shows?
Right.
How's that fucking feel, Dave? Fucking dick.
All right. Well, if I have time, I'll get to your request. But if you want to, take your chance and hit me up with an email, request at theclassicmetalshow.com. Request at theclassicmetalshow.com. Just send in your request. And if I have time, I'll get to it because I got a shit ton of requests to get to tonight already. So
cool.
Appreciate everybody thinking ahead.
Cool.
All right. I'll let you kick things off with a request, Mr. Aiken. So what should we play?
Well, I think we should play, based on this segment, we should wrap it up with a song from the band Another Animal. We'll go with Broken Again. How's that? That's Whitfield Crane and the Godsmack boys.
Remember we had them on the show because you were a Wrathchild America fan.
Yes, that's right. And had Shannon Larkin on.
Exactly. So what's the name of the tune?
Broken Again.
All right. There it is. All right. Well, we're going to play a few tunes. We'll come back, get into it. So here it is. This is Another Animal featuring Whitfield Crane and Shannon Larkin. And this is Broken Again, exclusively here.
It's the album that changed everything, Metallica's Black Album. In Cause and Effect, Metallica, author Chris Aiken takes you back to the lead-up, the release, and the shockwaves that followed. Relive the moment that divided fans, reshaped heavy metal, and turned commercial radio on its ear. With insider stories and personal memories from rock critic and radio personality Chris Aiken, this book is a backstage pass to one of rock's most iconic moments. Get your copy now at chrisaiken.net or on Amazon. Don't miss out on this epic journey through heavy metal history.